everyone. I thought that we could do a little bit of a get ready with me holiday edition. And not only that, but I thought, what better time than now to try a makeup challenge that I'm like a year and a half or two behind on. So today we're going to be trying the full face using only stick makeup. Now I'm taking some liberties with this because I can, and it's my channel, and I can do what I want. But I kind of figured like brushes don't count, right? Because I don't remember in the challenge. I'm not going to go watch a whole bunch now if makeup brushes count or not. So I'm making up a rule saying that makeup brushes don't count in this. So I went through my collection and I gathered a whole bunch of like stick stuff, way more than I need, but I like to have options, you know what I mean? So we're going to do this, and I did not prime my face because I didn't have a stick primer, but that's all right. That's all right, right? You're not going to judge me for that. So I guess if you're out there watching, you could also let me know if you are one of the people that end up doing eyes first or if you end up doing base first. Now, here's the thing. I would understand doing eyes first if you're using powder makeup and you're afraid of fallout and having it be all like over your face. But considering this is a full face of stick makeup, which is, creams, liquids, and stuff that aren't going to be like flying about and having a whole bunch of fallout, kind of thinking it's fine to do the base first. So I think we're going to do that. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about that actually. So let's look at this, and if you're out there, say hello. Please do. All right, so I'm going to go through here and I'm going to start looking for some of this stick foundation. I picked 3. I have more because sometimes you like to have, varietals of colors and stuff like that. So I have 2 from Wander Beauty and I've got 1 from Wet n Wild. So drugstore option and then a little bit more high end. I believe I heard a rumor that they discontinued this formula, the Wander Beauty one, which makes me so bummed because it's so good. It's such a good formula. But, and also, I don't know if you guys can see this, but my puppy has gotten a hold of this one and there are bite marks all over it. And he has very, very good taste in makeup as well. What can I say? So we are going to try this one because I have 2 colors. I have light medium and I have medium. And then this color is classic ivory. So I have a mix of all colors. Hello, Melinda Hall. Hello. I guess we're just going to go about the face. I don't have a foundation. Oh, you know what? I do have a foundation or a concealer stick, but it's over there and I'm over here. I'll just use one of these as a concealer. That actually bums me because I do have a concealer. No, it's not worth getting up. Okay. So let's just do this. I will do light medium kind of around the interior of my face, and I will do medium around the exterior of my face, and we will give it a go and see how she happens. All right, so we'll do kind of one of these guys in kind of the center. And then we'll go in with the darker color on the outside. Oh, wait, I don't know what color this is actually. What color are you? You're a little darker. Okay, so we'll come in here like this. And then just to make it fair. I actually like this one though a lot because it's like very hydrating for a stick. Oh, this one's like orange though right now. So maybe not so much of that one. We'll just kind of do that. And like I said, I'm making a rule for myself that the brushes don't count. So I'm going to go in there. This one's the Sigma, the flat kabuki. All right, so I'm going to start in the center of the face and kind of work my way out. I don't know what it is, but sometimes blending, you can either be like really in the mood and super excited to do it, or you can be like, ugh. Let me know if that's just me. Some days you're just like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to sit there and blend, blend, blend forever. But I will say stick makeup is kind of nice because you do a few swipes and then you're kind of like on your way. Liquids, I feel like some creams, like you can be kind of messy and haphazard and kind of slap it on your face. So some of the powders, you really got to like work for it. Be a little bit more like gentle. And if you didn't know, I am doing, it's kind of like a holiday get ready. Oh, wow, this looks really light in the viewfinder, but I swear it doesn't look so bad in real life. Like I said, we are getting ready because I will be going live at 5:30. I haven't made my thumbnail yet, and I haven't done that on my main channel for Shelly Saves a Day for the Triple T Thursday. So I figured I might as well get camera ready and film it and get some more content out on the beauty channel. By the way, on the beauty channel, I did a this or that, which is just kind of a fun little picking 2 different similar types of makeup items in my collection and then doing just like a preferential thing. I didn't really think anybody would care. And in fact, the first couple days that it was on my channel, like nobody watched it. But then I saw that it got picked up in like YouTube Shorts. And then like I logged in and I saw it had like 500 views on it. And I was like, what? When did that happen? So I went and I looked in the analytics. I posted a picture of it on Twitter. But I'm like, you can see the exact moment that it just like shot up. And I'm like, oh, okay. Thank you, YouTube Shorts. So, all right. How does that look? That's not bad. It's pretty even now, I would say. I guess I could go in with a little bit more coverage. It's so funny because in the viewfinder, I look so pale. And, you know, in real life, it doesn't look as pale. Okay. I guess I can bronze it up, though. All right. So speaking of that, bronzer, I picked a whole bunch, actually. And funny enough, some of these ended up in that this or that type video that I made. But I've got the Milk bronzer stick, by the way. Not only is this a really good product, you get a lot of it. So I would always recommend getting the mini of this one because it's going to be a really, really long time for you to get even through this guy. I also got the Pixie, which I had up against, oh, what was it? I had it up against the Park Avenue Princess bronzer stick, and I prefer the Pixie one, and the Pixie one is actually cheaper. So this is a really, really good one. And then this is the one from Trestique. And the one thing about Trestique products, though, no matter what you do, you always feel like you forgot to put the lid on. And I know it's part of their gimmicky packaging, but it freaks me out a little bit. And so there's a couple of those products in here. And actually that stick concealer I was talking about earlier is also a Trestique one that looks like that. I don't know why I didn't think about that. So I'm just going to do like a little bit of a 3 on my face like this. I don't know why I picked this one. It was the last one I talked about. And then I'm going to also use the Pixie one and go kind of on the sides of my nose just a tiny bit because this one I feel is like a little bit cooler. And try and make it double as a contouring one. We're looking a little crazy, I know. We'll give it a second. Actually, we're going to come up underneath the chin a bit too. We're going to come up over here. We're going to come in a little bit stronger on that. Good shake, buddy. Now I'm going to use a brush to blend out all that. So actually, I'm going to go with one of these guys. And this one's from MGS, I believe. Yeah, it's $3.29 from MGS. So I'm just going to kind of do a little chisel action, hopefully fake a little bit of a cheekbone, which I don't really have much of. I have a kind of a chubby face, and that's just, that's just the way my face is. So we do all of our tricks to try and make it look like we have more bone structure than we do. And I'm also going around that outside of my face too, trying to darken that up just a little bit because, gosh, on camera, it's looking a little bit like I'm pale, but I swear I'm not. I'm going to come underneath that jawline as well and try and come in. And hopefully get a little bit of that definition going. And this one, I went a little bit wonky, went a little high. I'm going to blend that down. Did I ever say I was a makeup guru? No. I am a girl, though, who does enjoy makeup, has probably way too much of it. I have actually gotten to the point this year where I was like, because, when you consistently get, let's say, BoxyCharm, Ipsy, and all these different subscription boxes for, it's been probably 5 years now, and you consistently get 1 to 2, 3 boxes every month. Not only do you get the point where, like, you're getting way more than you can actually ever go through, and then you just end up hoarding it all, but you also, you're not that excited sometimes about makeup because it's like, dude, I have 15 eyeshadow palettes that look exactly the same. So it's not that exciting. You know what I mean? Like, I know that's one of those first world problems, like, oh, I have too much makeup. But then it does become a problem because then it hides the makeup that you actually really do like. You have to have space for all of it. It's extra recycling. And then I would totally do more with giving it away. But the problem is that it's so heavy to ship it that it's almost cost prohibitive to do that. So I would almost do like a giveaway or something where like people could buy boxes of like, I would ship out boxes of old makeup to them if they paid the shipping just so I could get it out of my house. But if they knew how much it cost to ship it, because like for sometimes it could be $40, $50, $60 depending on how heavy it is. So if someone wants to give me $50 or something, like I would mail them out a whole bunch of makeup, but I don't want to pay $50 to take someone to use or to take all my old makeup. You know what I mean? Because I've done that before in the past as well. I had these giveaways that were happening, and one, they can actually really, really hurt your channel when it comes to, because then all these people will come in and maybe that will subscribe, which doesn't sound like a bad thing. But then the problem is every time you release a new video, all these people who didn't win the giveaway end up like looking at your channel and being like, oh, why did I sign up for this? Oh, it's a giveaway. Oh, they're not doing a giveaway anymore. Or I didn't win. Then they like unsubscribe, or they just never watch your channel again. And so you have a whole bunch of people that are subscribed to your channel that don't actually watch, which isn't great either. All right. So one thing that I like to do is sometimes I will do the highlighter next. So you've got kind of like that bottom, you've got that top, and then the blush kind of like can blend it all together. So I have several here just to give ourselves some options. All right. So we actually have, as we should, we actually have 5 different stick highlighters. You wouldn't think that you would have that many stick items, but again, once you have so many subscription boxes. I know that one of these is like really, really dark. Yeah, this is the Hourglass one. This is too dark. Oh, I forgot about the Fenty ones. We have all these too, these matchsticks. Oh yeah. Let's look at this real quick. One of them, this is amber. This is more like a contour. Should we put that on there? Maybe we'll just toss that on too. More is more, right, people? A little more never hurt anybody. Well, we'll see how that goes. I know a lot of people actually weren't the biggest fans of the matchsticks. I never expected, oops, first of all, to end up with so many, but I ended up getting some in like the BoxyCharm pop-up. And this is actually the first time that I'm getting to use some of them. They're not bad. I don't understand what a lot of the people were complaining about because, well, one, it would be perfect for a challenge like what we're doing right now for full face. But if you're like on the go, sticks are so easy because like you don't have to worry about any kind of like spillage. Most of the time they're not melting. All right, so between the Ciate and the Glossier, these are both like very, very similar. They just give like that wet skin effect. I don't know if you can see it with a tiny bit of like pearlescent. So the Ciate is this one, and then the Glossier is this one. So these are very, very similar. And one thing that I do like about this is if I was doing a full face as is right now, this one just makes your skin look kind of wet, but this is kind of one of those things where you can kind of do the little finger rub here and put it on your eyelid and kind of make it seem like a little bit more youthful and bright inner corner type of thing. And then you could also almost use it like an eyeshadow base and just kind of drag it over your eye. Now, I would say it kind of makes it seem a little bit like more, I don't know what the best word, greasy. But since I'm doing an all liquid, not liquid, but stick eyeshadow look anyway, I'm kind of okay with it. So I'm just going to do that like that. Put the right lids on the right items. Okay, so what do we have? We have Flush, which is pink. So it's like this pearlescent pink. And then we have Champagne Flash. I think we're going to go with Champagne Flash. Yeah. And one thing that's nice about the Hourglass ones are ones you can kind of swipe them on your face and you don't move around a whole lot of product, which is kind of nice because that's not always the case with a lot of the sticks and stuff. But one easy thing you can do is kind of just go in there, run it around with your finger, and then give yourself a nice little pat, pat, pat like that. And because of the way that like the light hits your face and stuff, I like to come down almost a little bit like underneath the eye and kind of like pat my cheek too. Because for me, like I have, like I said, a little bit more chubby cheeks. So if I just like stick over here, I don't feel like it looks as natural as if I kind of bring it down underneath my eyes. So we're just kind of going to do one of these guys. And I'm going to go a little bit ham on this one because like I said, I'm going to rub over it with the blush here, and I think it's going to blend away some of that. So after you go in with your finger, you can actually, is this going down or up? It's doing neither. Okay, so put the cap on carefully. I'm going to go in there. We've got a couple of these milk. We tried the bronzers. Now we're going to do the blushes. These both came in a BoxyCharm. So if anyone is familiar with the, what do they call it? The Cheeks Swish and Pop, something like that from Charlotte Tilbury, where it has like the darker outside and then it looks like the inner that is like a little bit brighter. We're going to go with the same principle. So we're going to go right on the cheeks with the brightest color. And then on the back part of the cheek, we're going to go with a little bit slightly darker color. Hope that makes sense. We're just going to give ourselves a little smile. But here's the thing. You would think, I'm going to put it right here. And then you stop smiling and then you see it drops like really, really low, like almost the same as my nostril. So even though a lot of people are like, smile when you put on your blush, I actually just kind of ignore that and go a little bit above that because it's always going to drop anyway. So I'm going to do like a nice little turn and swish like that, I guess you could say, a little round. And that actually is moving the makeup underneath. So we're just going to kind of do one of those so it looks like 2 pink dots on your face. And then we're going to go in with the slightly darker color. And take off, this one has the plastic lid piece on it. Gently, gently. And then almost kind of like a little racing stripe. We're just kind of, I don't know how pigmented this one is. We're just going to do a little bit of a stripe backwards like that. Ooh, there's like a chunk of it in there. Now, I don't know if I want to use, this thing is a little, it doesn't really fit anymore. I'm going to take it off actually. That's probably what happened with the other one. Obviously, I haven't used this one very much. Now, what I like to do is go in there with more of a less dense brush. I don't know how to say that, like a stipply type brush. Did I bring one? I'm going to use one more like this. This is the Sigma, what are you? Duo Fiber Powder Blush. Perfect. So I'm going to start in the front and kind of do like little circles. And then when I feel like I've got that in, I'm going to kind of bring this back stuff in and kind of work it back and forward, swishing to bring that in. Because I don't want to bring too much of that dark color too far forward because I already have like that pop of lighter color up front. So I don't want to do too much of the dark. So that's not so bad, right? It looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. So we're going to do the same over here. We're going to start with the circulars right on the apples of the cheeks. And then once we feel that that's kind of like pretty well done in, we're going to go to the back and do kind of almost like a back and forth and still swishing circles. That's really hard to explain. But we're going to do this, and then we're going to kind of bring it forward a little bit. So that's a little bit more natural. What do we think? Yeah, looking pretty good. And then I don't mind, actually, once it's all kind of like blended together, I'm just going to be a little bit like, rough isn't the right word, but we're just going back and forth across the whole thing. And then we're kind of even blending up a little bit so it goes into that highlighter. So it should just kind of almost like all blend in together, because I really hate seeing like the big stripe, like boom, 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 like that. So I kind of like it to be a bit more like blended. And I feel like you get that a lot more with like the creamer stick products than you do like with powder products. So what do we think? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that looks pretty good, actually. I'd say if you're looking to also get into like a cream, like blush, the Glossier Cloud Paints, those are pretty good too. But all right, so we're looking pretty good there. I feel like we've got the face main part on. Now we're gonna get into, well, first I'm gonna put on some chapstick. It's also a stick. It's from Galactic. This is like their jelly chapstick type thing. It's actually really good. I got that in, I think it was an Ipsy, and I was kind of making fun of it. I was like, wow, okay, this is a great product for your like Glam Bag Plus or whatever, you know, when you're paying $25 versus $12. That actually is a really good product. So, all right. So I'm going to set aside, I have 2 lipsticks for later. You guys can tell me, one's more like cranberry, one's a little bit more mauvey, or we could do a mix of the both. Yeah, we'll see. Now, as far, this is the selection of like pencils for eyeshadow. So I do love eyeshadows on a stick. I don't know why I don't talk about this more often, but like these are so easy because you can just like literally swipe them on, and then if you want to pat them out with your finger or pat them out with a brush, you're good to go. So we are going to do this one. This is from Pixie, and this I believe was part of when they introduced some new Pixie Pretties, and I believe Jen from Head to Toe was on this one. So this is the, what do I call it? Endless Shade Stick, and the color is Matte Cognac. Yeah. All right, so it's just kind of like a tan color. So I'm going to use this kind of like crease, but I'm going to end up tossing it all over, I think. So we're going to kind of bring it up there so you can see it. Also, what's really good for this is using your stick bronzer, just sticking your brush in there and kind of doing the same. That way it kind of all ties together. I've done that many, many a time. But I think this is like a neutral, like brown color. It's really easy to use. So I just kind of do that, messily apply, call that good. And then I think we're going to do a little thing where it's like a little bit darker on the outside, a little bit lighter on the inside. But because these are like sticks, they're pretty creamy. So actually there is a Trustique one that's pretty dark. So we'll use that. We'll go find a light one. Oh, I had another stick highlighter as well. That's funny. I think some of the best ones actually are the Laura Mercier, the caviar sticks. These are so good. I have like so many of these. So, oh, and the Thrive Cosmetic one. This is actually really good too. Maybe I'll use that one. That one's pretty. So this is the hardest part, is actually picking the right colors. So what do I want? You. We want you. You are the burnished bronze. And then let's go with something a little bit lighter. We want, what are you? No, I want more gold, I think. See, these are the things that you should plan out in advance, but I don't. Actually, we're going to go with this. So we're going to do this one, and this is from Beauty for Real, and it's a shadow stick. It's a 24/7 one, and I don't think it has a color. So I'm just going to bring it in here, and we're going to do it in the first half of the eye and just kind of bring it all over. And like I said, you don't have to be too accurate, honestly, is I guess the right word. Just kind of bring it all over. And then I'm going to go in with the darker color on the back. I'm going to kind of do that. And then this is, like I said, the burnished bronze, the Laura Mercier. I'm just going to use it across the back half, kind of messily, like that. And then I think we'll use the super dark. Oh, this is it's an eyebrow pencil. There was another tiny one in here. I think it was this one. Are you an eyebrow pencil too? This is a mini shadow crayon. There we go. So we're going to use this after everything else is blended, and probably just on the very, very, very outer edge. So let's find a brush. Just going to use a flat shader here for the front. And then I'm going to switch when I'm feeling pretty satisfied with that it's evenly spread, and then I will use the darker one. And so that one was for the Moda Metallics, and then this one is from Sigma here. So I just kind of make sure that it's out here on the edge, and then I'm just going to bring it in, sweep it inwards as well. And you can see they just kind of blend into each other, which is nice. So now I feel like with a stick of some kind, you're never going to get like the super cut creasy, super defined type of look. It's always going to look a bit more, I don't want to use the word natural, but like, and I don't want to use the word messy. But, and if you guys didn't know, the farther back you hold your eyeshadow brush, the less pressure that you're kind of putting on the brush. So if you want to get like super precise and detailed, you would probably like move it like super tight. That's not my jam though. That's not my journey. I'm going to come back out here. It's just going to give it a nice little brush all over. And that's also like blending in that first shade stick that we kind of like put down, which was kind of like a big transition. Now I always find it really funny because I have like monolid eyes, obviously, that don't have like really big eyeshadow folds or, you know, eyelids. That all the things that people want to suggest, like cut creases and stuff, I'm like, I can't do those, obviously. So it is always a challenge sometimes finding like the makeup tutorials that you like online that are actually translatable into stuff you can do. So right, that looks like pretty effortless, and it kind of is. It took a couple of swipes and then just some blending together. And I know some people would be like, it just looks like an unblended mess. That's fine. That's your opinion. And then I'm going to take, I don't think I brought a tiny little brush. What was I thinking? Oh, I did. Okay. So I'm just going to take this little guy, and I think I'm just going to use the top of this little brush here. I'm going to start kind of like you would for like an eyeshadow, or sorry, an eyeliner. And then we're going to see how that goes. So we're just going to kind of, now I feel one thing that's always kind of like a blessing and a curse. I also have slightly hooded eyelids, which is super fun, as well as monolids. So I can do an entire thick line of eyeliner or something, and then like it just disappears. So it's one of those like, you can go super thick, but it's not going to be visible all the time. So it's a blessing and a curse. You go through a lot of black eyeliner, but it also can be a mess. And so I'm kind of just using that like I would for my eyeliner. So I'm just taking a dark color and just kind of smudging it around. Then I'm going to go in there with that pencil and just kind of like go right over it. And I Made a little bit of a mess. Yep, I did. What are you gonna do? Now, one thing that I used to do in the past is because you would see so little of my eyelid after my eyeshadow, my eyeliner was on, I used to do the eyeliner first and then do the eyeshadow on top of it because it was like, why waste all of it doing, from here to here when you end up only seeing like this much of it because the rest of it gets covered with eyeliner. So for some people, that might be easier as well to just start with the eyeliner and then just build what you are going to see as far as eyeshadow on top of that. All right, so there's that. It was a little sloppy. Now I do have a couple of eye pencils. I think one of them is the ColourPop and the other is the from Glossier. And somehow I've managed to get makeup all over my finger. So love that for me. All right, so we're going to come in here. It's kind of like a mirrored surface. No, that's not going to work. Okay, well, we're just going to give this a go. If you're someone who gets a little creeped out by someone kind of getting things close to their eye, look away now and I'll let you know when you can look again, okay? So FYI, look away, look away. I know you're like, can I look yet? I'm like, nope, still going. And I don't know about you, but I have very sensitive like under eye things. So not only will I start to tear up, but in a little while it will just be gone or like smeared all over. So getting that eyeliner that really doesn't move and doesn't smudge too much, it's really, really difficult sometimes. So yeah, don't worry, people, still look away. Look away. Look away. Don't look at what's on the screen. Look away. Look away. I have to say that Trustique eyeshadow thing, it was a little patchy. All the rest of them did really well. That Trustique one, not so much. The Laura Mercier is beautiful. The real makeup, whatever, was pretty good. Laura Mercier was not good at all. I'm sorry, not that one. What was the last one? The Trustique dark eyeshadow one. Not very good. Okay, all those people who are weirded out by eye touching, you can look back now. So it's all good now. We're just going to kind of go in and smudge this around. Oh, you know what I do want to do? I think I will add some glitter because, not that I have it right now, but I'm saying before we go on for the live stream, I will use some glitter because, it's not a festive holiday look without some glitter. So we're going to do that. We're just going to blend all this a little bit. Now, what's so funny is if you check back in an hour or the 5 o'clock live stream, this will be, oh, you see it's already like transferred quite a bit, but it will be all smudged and just all over. I just can't keep eyeliner in place. Even if you set it with a powder, it just goes where it wants to. And it's world, we're just living in it. Okay, so there's that. And I think the last thing that we have to do is really brows. And then I think we'll go back in and do one more light layer on top of the wet skin thing. And then we're going to be good to go. So I have a couple of things here, choices for the eye. Okay, so this was the mini brow. The Trustique, I don't know if I'm feeling it right now. So I'm going to go back to one of my favorites, which is the Wander Beauty one. This is the micro. You can't even, oh no, the lid fell off. Because I use this one, it's like on its last leg here. It's the Wander Beauty Frame Your Face Micro Pencil, I believe. I can't really, it's like pretty well worn off. So we're going to come at the front here and we're going to do some of these little hair strokes as you do. This is very reminiscent to the e.l.f. Pencil, which is a good alternative. Also very reminiscent of the Precisely My Brow from Benefit because it has a very, very fine, precise tip on the eyebrow pencil. It went a little wonky. See, I shouldn't be allowed to talk and say things while I'm trying to do life, basically. So just bear with me while I don't talk while. When was the brow thing like really? When did we all decide that brows were like the best part of like our face? Because for me, like someone who doesn't even have very much brows anyway, like even what you see now and you're like, oh, you have brows. This is what is like left after microblading. Like, I literally tattooed eyebrows on my face, people, because my eyebrows are so sparse and thin. If you ever want to see a video on that, pretty sure I still have it on my channel. It says, like, I tattooed my eyebrows or something like that. You could find it on my channel. I have very little eyebrow hair, just FYI. So everything you see, it's all a lie. It's all drawn on. I wish I was one of those people who had like eyebrows on fleek and I could trim them and I could have these bushy brows that I could shape into whatever. No, I have ones that I literally draw on my face, people. And like the tattoo part is the stencil now for what I should put on my face. And it's not just me where, you know, that saying, it's like eyebrows should be sisters, not twins, because they never match. Because people's faces, well, one, usually aren't that symmetrical, but like eyebrows are just unruly. There's always like, you always have a favorite brow. I think mine is this side. This side is my good brow. This side is my like, no thank you, thanks for playing, try another day. But like every day is the same message. It's like you keep thinking it's gonna help and like something's gonna like work out for you, and it doesn't. It just doesn't work out for you. But because I have also right here under in this part, I have a bald spot. So I try and draw it in, and I try and put stuff there, and it just doesn't stick. So every time you see it, there's just like a bald spot right here. I'm telling you guys all of my insecurities right now, but brows is definitely one of them. And all these people like eyebrows on fleek. And so when we became this culture that was obsessed with doing brows, it was like, well, sucks for me. I spend 20 minutes doing my brows and then having people be like, yeah, anyways. That does require some intense concentration, obviously. All right, so let's put this on. Let's brush these guys out. And you know, it's actually funny. One thing I did do before I get started, because I do it every day, is I spray a bar of soap, like a clear glycerin soap. I think it's from Pearson's. And I spray it with a setting spray, because I always have a setting spray right next to it. And then I take a spoolie and I kind of run it through it, and then I kind of brush it through my brows so that later when I come do this, it's the soap brow method, where that means the eyebrow product or whatever will have something to like cling on to. Like that's how little hair, even what you saw before was the soap brow, which makes it so like accentuate all of the hairs and make it look like you even have any. Yeah, so what I started with, that was the soap brow. And my brows are still not anything to write home about, so there's that. Love that for me. Okay, so how are we looking? Oh, lipstick. Like I said, we have two choices. I think we're going to do a little bit of an ombre loop. We're going to go dark on the outside, and we're going to go lighter on the inside. We're going to see how that goes. This one is from, is this Laura Mercier? Yeah, pretty sure. This is Laura Mercier. I got this in one of these Sephora lip kits. So we're going to do that. Ugh, get that off my face. Oh, that's a lot more magenta than I was thinking. Okay, I just won't use all of it. It's a little cranberry. And then we're going to go in with this one. This was from Ipsy when they did the collaboration with the Betty Boop thing. And I haven't used this one much, so I figured I might as well. It's a little bit lighter. Are you a lipstick mixer? Let me know. So my friend Jen from Jen Loves Reviews, formerly Jen Loves Reviews, now it's Jen Loves. She is a girl after my own heart and soul, because she did a liquid lip collaboration with Ofra, and it was lipstick mixers. So they were meant to mix and match and play and stuff, so you could do dark centers and lighter and like kind of like play around and lighten, darken your lipsticks, or just wear them alone. And I was really into that, because that's something that I've always done, but it was nice to see someone else also kind of like do that. All right, so this is kind of the holiday looking. You love mixing lipsticks? Miss Shadow Dragon 97, thank you so much for saying that. We are not by ourselves. Yeah, awesome. Good choice. Good choice on that. So yes, lipstick mixing is the best. And then I think, what do we think on the face? So I feel like the lip is really bold and the eye, it's kind of bronzy. It's not too bad. I feel like, is it this one or is it this one? It's a little blended more. So this one, whatever eye, this is a little darker. Is this darker? Yeah, it feels a little darker. Maybe we'll just do a tiny little touch up here. And then with a darker color on the outside, what did we use? We used the Laura Mercier. We'll just kind of do a little bit of dunk, dunk, dunk. We'll see how that goes. I hope that was the color. It might not have been the color. Okay. We're just going to give it a go, though. You said it's the fastest way to pan lipsticks. Have you been panning lipsticks? Because I actually was saying on a different live stream that I will never buy a full-size like lipstick again. I will only buy minis because I can't pan a lipstick. And I had done this declutter and I had these Tarte ones and they actually had mold on the inside of it. And that was a mini and I can't get through the lip stuff fast enough. So I was just like, forget this. Never, ever, ever will I buy a full-size lipstick thing. Probably never say never, but I'm saying like, it's not on my list to buy full-size lipsticks. Just, I don't see that happening for myself fully. Okay. Does that look a little more even? Yeah, I think it's a little more even. All right, I'm going to bring my hair down now that I was trying to keep stuff off of my face, like even wrap my headphones around my ears differently so that I didn't potentially get lipstick on them. I feel like I'm looking a little, am I looking pale? I don't know if it was just the thing itself. Oh, I did say I was going to go back in with a little bit more of the highlighter of some sort. Actually, this is the Ciate one. This is the Becca one, right? Let's see if one of these is... Oh, we're going to go with the golden one. What is this? This is the Becca Glow Glaze Stick. Okay. And yeah, so we'll do that. Do I have a particular brush? I'll just use this one for it. Bravo to you for actually panning a lipstick, though. That is not something that I've managed to do in a very long time, and I felt actually kind of bad when I ended up throwing all of those away. So I'm just going to go in here and kind of stipple, I think. What are these notifications? What's going on my phone here? Okay. I'll just kind of do this. And we're going to come back in here. And like I said, I kind of like to go underneath my cheek too. So we'll just kind of do that. Okay. I'm feeling pretty good about where I'm at. Could I use a little more bronzer? Is that the thing that all of us do though? You're like, could I use a little bit more? And then all of a sudden you're like completely like dark. And you're like, maybe I went too hard. Actually, I'm going to bring that, what's left, just a little bit here on my forehead and kind of do that little glow up. And then you guys let me know if you're a nose highlighter or not. I don't like nose highlight. I really don't, but it seems like what everybody does. I'm just going to kind of bring it down the bridge of my nose here. Hopefully that does it. Yeah. I feel like I need a little bit more of everything, but maybe that's just me. Maybe it's because the lip color is so dark though too. Maybe I'm gonna have to let it go. Yeah. Let's see what's left and bring that underneath my brow bone. Oh, you know what I might do? I might go in with that Thrive Cosmetic one and do a little bit on that inner corner. Somebody stop me. Take away the highlight, man. Can't stop me now. Okay, come on. Come on. So good. Yes. And I know a lot of people, they don't like the that inner corner like that. You know what? You're not my real dad. You're not my mom. So you can't tell me what to do. I'm going to do what I want. I really like going in on like really hard, hitting that inner corner, but not just on the inner corner, but like bringing it up like by quite a bit. So I've always loved that. I know a lot of people don't like that, and maybe they don't like it on me. That's their prerogative. It's my face. It'll wash off at the end of the day. Yeah, I like that. Okay, cool. All right, so this is where we're at. I think I will go get ready for the live stream that's happening on my main channel at 5 on Shelly Saves today. And I still haven't really decided what we're talking about yet, so I guess we're going to have to figure that out. But if you want to come chit-chat on Shelly Saves today, I was thinking about maybe like doing a TikTok with like during while everyone is like doing stuff or like watching, but I didn't know if that's too much pressure, so we'll see. Or maybe like doing some sort of like special effect teaching or just chit-chatting. So tune in if either of the three of those things sound good to you. 5:30 on my main channel, Shelly Saves the Day. So I hope you guys have an awesome one. Merry Christmas Eve. I hope tomorrow you get to spend it with family and friends, whether virtually, in person, and you get lots of nice presents from Santa, or you spoil yourself as a Santa, as your own secret Santa. Hope you have a very Merry Christmas, and I will see some of you, hopefully, if you come say hi at 5:30 on my main channel, Shelly Saves Today. All right, bye, guys.